Good day, folks, and welcome to this edition of SNN, the Shakespeare News Network. I'm your host, Tessa Nesbet, and I will be leading you through the basics of one of Shakespeare's 500 plays, King Lear. For millions of years...
You can't say that. It's only been 400 years. You only wrote 39 plays. Come on, stop.
Correction. I've been informed that it's only been about 400 years or so, and that Shakespeare only wrote 39 plays. Weird, but who's counting? King Lear is not only one of the most well-known Shakespeare plays, but is considered by many to be his best. But why? Is it the horse racing, the stick-ups, the romance? Is it that scene where the big tree creature gets blown up and you think it's dead, but it's not? It just has to start over again as a sapling with its 4 friends.
There's no horse racing, there's no stick-ups, there's no romance. That's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians.
Just read what's on the plate, on the page. Come on.
My apologies, folks. Apparently, it's a rather brutal portrayal of family dysfunction, fighting over land, getting old, and so much more. Maybe it's about the human psyche, or nihilism, or authority versus chaos, or the natural versus the cultural, or blindness. Or maybe it's about so much more. One thing's for sure, King Lear speaks to us in a variety of ways, and we keep coming back for more. And this King Lear is set in the solar system, and the king is tearing apart space.
Quick note on style. As you may or may not know, it is very common for Shakespeare festivals to pick a style, motif, or genre for the play being presented. For this production of King Lear, we have set it in the present, in the United States, with all the trappings of modern day life, including cell phones, massively unnecessary SUVs, and media. Our casting is similarly modern. We have a racially and gender-inclusive cast that is reflective of our modern society. And our King Lear is a woman, because women are powerful and it's about time. So, as we go forward, be aware that we will be using female pronouns for Lear throughout this broadcast and in the play itself.
And we are back.
In King Lear, the setting has a great deal to do with the story that we are hearing. We go from powerful castles to the wild heath, from lavish throne rooms to leaking shacks, from tasty burger joints to sweet veggie spots.
What? No.
These backdrops put the characters in sharp relief to one another and move the story along. For more on this, we turn to our reporter on the ground, Tom, on site in one of these significant locations. Tom!
Hi, Tessa. It's actually Viv, not Tom. I'm here in the famous heath from King Lear. This is where King Lear goes on her journey to find out. You'll notice the pastoral quality of the setting. This and all around, it's around the king's castle, and this is what the daughters are said to inherit in the beginning of the play. Huge tracts of land. Even in the back, you may notice the castle. Looks nice, right? Comfy, cozy. It looks like we have ourselves a little bit of weather. This is where Lear begins to lose it. She's lost her... She's lost her daughters, her power, and seemingly her mind. Some say it's a metaphor for what she's going through. Lear starts to say things like, "Blow winds and crack your cheeks, rage blow, you cataracts and hurricanes, spout till you have drenched the steeples, drowned the cocks." You get the sense that she doesn't have her sense about her, that she wants the storm to take
Hello? Tom? What? Yeah, no. What? Nothing? Well, nothing comes from nothing. Poor Tom. I made this for her. There's nothing like a family meal, especially around big life events. And King Lear is a lot like that. Only 10 times worse. She's got her ducks all lined up, succession plan in place, big retirement party ready. And then, everything goes off the rails. People start scheming, your best friend makes you mad for picking on your daughter, and then your fool gets all philosophical and starts calling you nuncle. There's so much family history, so many buttons to be pushed, and when an entire kingdom is being split up, well, let's just say the way you made the mashed potatoes seems a bit small in comparison. So how did they get here?
Here's the story of a woman named King Lear, who was bringing up 3 very lovely girls. All of them had real cool names, like Reed and Bonroll. The youngest one was Cordelia. Here's the story of a man named Foster, who was busy with 2 boys of his own. They were 3 men, all related, yet Edmund felt disowned. Till the one day when King Lear split up the kingdom, and Bonroll and Regan kicked around, and Edmund framed his brother and his father. That's the way this classic play sets about. And one day when Cordelia returned from France, with her husband, the King of France, to reclaim the throne for Lear, then almost everyone dies. And that is why it is called a tragedy. A tragedy. A tragedy. That's a summary of King Lear, a tragedy.
Wait, what about the middle of the play?
What? It's fine. Let's just move on.
It's fine. Let's just move on.
They'll get it.
They'll get it. Like the plot stuff in the middle. You know, King Lear going mad because she has nowhere to go, and then her attendants trying to cheer her up. Or Edgar going into hiding as a poor beggar. Or Goneril and Regan's plot to take control of the kingdom. Or their plots to be with Edmund. Or Gloucester being blinded and Edgar helping him commit fake suicide. They'll get all that.
Wow. It doesn't fit in the song.
What do you mean? It's already 1 verse longer than the original.
Want a donut?
Yeah!
That's a summary of King Lear, a tragedy.
No, you have to turn your sound. You got to turn your sound on in the bottom left. Yeah. Oh, forget it. This new technology can be kind of hard on folks. Luckily, there's always tech support. Similarly, Shakespeare's language can be a little bit hard to follow. So luckily, there's us.
No, that doesn't really work.
That's all Greek to me squad?
The Shakespeareans?
No, that doesn't really work.
Iambic pentameter crew?
What?
You know, the verse that Shakespeare's mostly made of. It goes da-da, 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 da-da.
The das.
The da-da crew!
The Shakespeare.
Nerd?
Rescue team!
Snert!
William Shakespeare invented or introduced over 1,700 words into the English language that we still use today. Here's a list of some words and terms in King Lear that we don't use today. Or maybe you do.
Alack!
Air! Wherefore?
Dot!
High! Just!
Void deep!
Squint!
And so many more, like Verlag, Bure, Civet, Corky, Fade, Festin, Fetches, Gallo, Goatish, Longgraft, Knuckle, Putter, Weaking, Scanted, Targus in Nature, Thought Executing, Trust, Yeoman.
Welcome to That Is the Question, King Lear edition, with your host, Blank Verston.
Welcome to That Is the Question. I'm Blank Burston. Let's meet our contestants. A nobleman and husband to Goneril, the Duke of Albany. Another nobleman and husband to Regan, the Duke of Cornwall. A schoolteacher and musical theater nut from Wisconsin, Jane Smith. Let's jump right in. Here are the categories. It happened around 1605-06. Alternative versions. Famous quotes. The fun part of Lear. Tragedy 101. Albany, you have the board.
I'll take It Happened in 1605-06 for 200.
Shakespeare wrote this play.
What is Hamilton?
No. Anyone else?
What is King Lear?
Jane, you are on the board.
I'll stick with the same category for 400.
This was the type of outbreak when King Lear was written. What are sweet dance moves? No. Anyone else?
Inappropriate hashtags.
No. Jane?
What is plague?
Right again. There was a massive outbreak of plague in 1605 when Shakespeare was writing King Lear.
Okay, let's try alternative versions for 1,000.
There have been several alternative versions of King Lear, including one with a happy ending, the television show Empire, several stylistically different productions, but one 2014 version starred these.
What are puppets?
No. What are eagles? No.
What are sheep?
That is correct. In 2014, English playwright Missouri Williams added levity to King Lear by staging an adaptation called King Lear with Sheep. When the sheep won't cooperate, the director suffers a breakdown and begins acting out the narrative himself. Sound familiar, parents? Now move on to our lightning round. Who was King Lear inspired by?
Who is the legend of the ancient king Lear of Britain, who was said to have lived around 8th century BCE?
Yes! Which monarch first saw King Lear?
Who is Prince?
No. Who is Elvis? No.
Who is King James I?
Yes. Why was King Lear banned in England for 10 years?
I know. What is King George was going mad?
King George III? Like from Hamilton!
I'm back because I'm a powerful lady and I've been
we're
in
back.
power for a very long time, and that's
Tessa.
kind of ageist of you.
Tessa,
It's
we're
really
back.
not ageist
Tessa.
because you're
Tessa,
legitimately
they can
losing
see
your
you.
mind
They-
there,
they-
love.
they
I'm
can see you, Tessa.
sorry,
Tessa.
but I just can't give you your land back.
Hey, Tessa.
Thanks. Well, that was quite the journey into King Lear. Clear as mud, am I right? Well, let me summarize what I learned. So basically, King Lear is like super powerful and has 3 daughters. Cordelia is super cool and nice and says that she loves Lear, but kind of in a confusing way. And then Lear disowns her and Cordelia becomes the Queen of France. And then the other 2 sisters are being really mean, but honestly, King Lear's kind of acting like a spoiled child. So like, are they being that mean? And then eventually they kick out King Lear too. Meanwhile, Edmund, Gloucester's illegit son, manages to scare away his brother, and then he gets his friends to blind his father to get power and land. Eventually, King Lear just loses her mind, and she dies, and all 3 sisters die, and oh God, Edmund dies too. Basically, everyone dies. And then Albany and Edgar are left to clean up the mess. The end. Enjoy the show, folks.
Holy moly, we made it. I can't believe it. Congratulations, guys. We made it through. All right. Thanks. All right. Bye.